Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for April 2022. We're going to just jump right in here, Cancer, and we are going to see what is going on for you at this time. And that'll be that. I'm going to clarify in this reading as well. So there won't be a part 2, but let's see here, Cancer. Pisces also had the Tower, so that could just be a water sign thing. Like I said to Pisces, to me the Tower is not a bad card. To me the Tower is actually very necessary. I think that too many people read the Tower as if it's like something that shouldn't happen, but there's a reason the Tower happens, and it's a good reason as well. So, you know, I don't think we should look at the Tower as a bad card, right? But let's see here. And there could be, and here's the thing, your first card, you have this Uranus card. Uranus is a card of like unexpected change, right? Uranus causes surprises, surprise change, surprise, you know, sudden upheavals, sudden changes, all those things. So you have this Uranus card here, and it just says change on it. So clearly there's some sort of change happening for you at this time. The Tower happens because, you know, we are ignoring reality. The Tower happens when we need to see things for how they really are. So, you know, the Tower can bring kind of like truth. It can bring us back down to earth as well. Those people are being grounded. They're being brought back down to their foundation so they can rebuild. And I feel there is a change, obviously, coming in for you here, Cancer. You have the Nine of Cups, the Page of Cups, and the Two of Wands here. This could be the change that is happening for you, this Two of Wands. I think I said Two of Cups, but Two of Wands. The thing about the Two of Wands is that it's a good card. To me, it's a card of taking the lead. To me, it's a card of leaving a comfort zone as well. But he's like about to step out into a new world. He's got the whole world in his hands. But the story of the Two of Wands is that he's standing at the top of the castle, and he feels like he has accomplished everything that he wants to accomplish. He feels like there's nothing more for him to do, because he rushed to be successful, but really he has the whole world in his hands. It's like there are a bajillion things that he could potentially be doing. He just needs to get out into the world and do it. And look at this. You have the Two of Wands, the world, to the King of Wands right here in this diagonal. I literally feel this reading is saying, go this way. Step out into the world. Do something new. Do something different. There's probably something that you've been thinking about doing. Excuse me. Choking as always. But, you know, this Page of Cups, he has that fish in the cup, and that fish is something that he might be imagining. That fish might not actually exist. So I always say with this card here, it's like that fish is something that you need to grab onto. The fish might be a part of your imagination, but you could be imagining something amazing in your life that you want to create, and this card is saying do it. I think the challenge for you is actually the middle row, not even the Tower, but this right here, going to the world, to the moon. When I see something like this, it's like Page of Wands, or Page of Cups. It's like you're starting to get excited. You're starting to imagine all the different directions your life could go in. The world, very expansive. You're thinking about the accomplished, the moon. It's like the reality. Even though the moon does not represent the reality, doesn't represent reality at all, actually. To me, when it comes up in a reading like this, just the way the cards are set up, it's kind of like saying you're being very expansive, then the fear set in with the moon. It's like you're being slapped by reality. You're like, I want to build this business and do all this stuff, or maybe you want to get married. But then you're like, but then all these other things fall into place. You're like, yeah, but I can't find a person, or I'd have to go out and date. I'd have to get up off the couch and meet people on Tinder or something like that. It's like, that's the moon. It's like all the things coming at you, right? And that's how I feel here. I would try to stay in this space as much as you possibly can. You even have the Nine of Cups, which the Nine of Cups has been coming up like crazy. The Nine of Cups, the guy on the card, he's meant to look chubby. He's meant to look like he's had a bunch of feasts in the past. And that's the whole point of the Nine of Cups, is that it's about soaking in an energy. It's about being in an energy for a long period of time. He is soaking up the energy of having a feast. So it's like the reason he's having another feast is because he's had a feast. It's kind of like which came first, the chicken or the egg, right? And it's like, to experience something, you have had to have experienced it in the past. And people always say, how is that possible? And I always say, well, it's like if you want love, for example, you have to go experience love. Go pet a cat. Go pet a dog. Go do something that you love to do. Same thing with money. I always tell people, it's like go tour a mansion. There are plenty of places where you can do that. There are plenty of places where you can be around abundance and wealth. So it's like, those are just a couple examples. But if you want something, there's no reason you can't go have the experience or just a piece of the experience. Then you're in the energy. And the Nine of Cups is like really about soaking it up, really about being in it. It's like when you're there, just imagine yourself being in the situation you want to be in and really bathe in that energy. And then the universe is like, oh, they've experienced this before, I'm going to bring it to them again. And that's what I would do here with that Nine of Cups. Next, you have this flexibility card. This actually makes perfect sense with the Tower. With the Tower, we can only be looking at one way of doing things. And, I feel like this flexibility card is saying there's a million ways to do anything that you want to do. You know what really proved this to me, Cancer, is YouTube. There's so many things that I do on this channel that, the YouTube experts say don't work on YouTube that have worked for me. And I don't think that they're lying. I don't think those people are saying this doesn't work. It just doesn't work for them, right? And so YouTube has really opened my eyes to the whole, needing to be flexible, just needing to try everything, being willing to experiment in life and see what works for you. You are not somebody else. You are you, and that's the whole point, I feel, in this row, is that you are your own person. You have your own experience, and it's probably not going to be like somebody else's experience. Again, I really truly believe that that's, that was one of the changes I made when my channel exploded, is I stopped listening to everybody else, and I just did kind of what I felt was right, what I wanted to do. Some of the ideas didn't work. Actually, I would say most of the things I tried don't work, but the ones that work extremely well. The ideas I have that work really, really well, even though it's a lot of experimentation. I kind of feel that for you. You have the Tower, the World, and the Six of Pentacles. The Tower, again, is falling because these people are ignoring reality. They have built those walls of the Tower up around them so they don't have to see the world, so they don't have to see what the reality is. They're trying to protect themselves, but the problem is that they're going up into the sky. They're not grounded. They're not, down on Earth. So the Tower, it happens so that we can be grounded in reality, so that we can see reality, because we can't ignore reality, right? We can't live in La La Land as much as we would like to. So I feel like this is a card of you being grounded in reality, but also needing to be flexible. You also have the World. The World doesn't surprise me. I love the World card. It's a very good card. But to me, it can be a card of being stuck in the squeeze. It's like a card of birth. She's going through this portal here, and she might be being reborn. And it's like when a baby is born, when you think about it, they're being squoze out, right, for the most part. And what do babies do for the most part when they come out? They cry, right? And it's because they were in a perfectly safe environment. Now they're entering into a new world. And it's you could say that they don't want to come into this cool, cruel, cold, mean world, but at the same time, it's we get to do wonderful things here. It's yeah, there are scary things in the world, but there are also good things. We get to create our own reality. We get to have relationships. We get to do so much. It's if we were inside the womb, we wouldn't be experiencing much, right? Darkness is what I'd say, but maybe it'd be warm darkness, but it's darkness nonetheless. So I feel like a birthing type of change happening for you with the World card. The Six of Pentacles, also about being flexible. He's giving to one person and not the other, but he has this scale right here. And I always say with the Six of Pentacles, it's kind of about seeing what works. He's willing to try different things. He gives to one thing. If he sees a result, he keeps going in that direction. Kind of like the Justice card. It's a cause and effect card, so it just says, follow cause and effect. Next, you have this Marriage card and this Career card. I don't know, that's conflicting energy, right? But I feel like some of you could be getting married, or you could be meeting a person that you're going to get married to. You have this Page of Cups here. The Career card, really good for career, obviously. I feel in career that you need to be more bold and assertive with the King of Wands. It's if you want a raise or a promotion, I feel like it would be a good month to be more aggressive, to King of Wands to me, King and Queen of Wands really, are both clues to me that in career, you should be asking for a raise or a promotion or something like that. It's a much more aggressive energy, not in a bad way. I mean, aggressive in a good way, you're going for something. And it really asks you to be aggressive, be forward. Go ask your boss for a raise if you want a raise. If your boss says no, say why. King Wands doesn't take no for an answer. He says why. And if his boss says, well, because maybe, number one, maybe the boss gives an answer. If the boss doesn't give an answer, King Wands follows up and says, what do I need to do to get a raise, right? Because he doesn't take no for an answer. So I kind of get that energy here with that King of Wands of, needing to not take no for an answer, especially in business or business negotiations and things like that. Obviously, don't cross any boundaries, but what I'd say here with the King of Wands, kind of tap into that type of energy of being more why? What can I do? Being more of service as well. He is very nurturing and caring. That's the thing. It's he's willing to do something to get what he wants. He's willing to create that exchange of energy, and I feel that here for you. Other than that, I do feel like there's definitely love coming in for you. In this row, you have the King of Wands, the Moon, and the Nine of Swords. It's some fears. Again, maybe you're having fears. King of Wands, if maybe on the negative side of things, he might have some imposter syndrome. He might feel like he's not good enough to do something or to ask for something, but I feel like you are, I feel like you are more than good enough to do things that you want to do. I feel like that as humans, I think what people don't realize is that I think we discount our information significantly. Like, you might have a certain talent, gift, skill, or ability, and you might think that it's not valuable, but it's like probably way more valuable than you think. It's like I bought this book one time, and it was $300, right? Super expensive, and it was like this thick, right? And it was from this guy. And, I went through this, and this guy, he basically sells information for a living, and super valuable information at that. But, it shocked me. It was another one of those eye-opening moments where it's like I read through the book, super simple, not very complex. There wasn't a lot of stuff there. I got a lot of golden nuggets out of it. Definitely paid for itself, even though $300, you might be saying $300, that's crazy. It is crazy to pay for like a super thin little book, right? But you know what that taught me? It taught me that it's like that we probably overcomplicate our information or think that we need to provide much more value than we actually do. It's like he truly, that to me is someone who truly values their experience, their information. And again, I don't think we can, if you don't have the experience, obviously you're not going to be able to do this. He has many, many years of experience, but, and he can back up his claims, right? But at the same time, I feel that for you here, where it's like if you feel like you're not good enough to ask for a raise or a promotion, I feel like you need to realize like your true value, that you probably give more than you think with the King of Wands. Like that's popping into my head here, Cancer. You also have the Moon, could be a Pisces coming in for you if you're looking for love, by the way, but I kind of feel this is the fears, like I said, of like what's on the other side. And I also kind of feel this is like a little bit of a stumbling block for you here, Cancer. And I also mainly say this because of the Nine of Swords, which is like having a nightmare, waking up and being in a nightmare. I get like a little bit of that self-defeating attitude here. I would be careful of that. And what I mean by that is that sometimes I think, I'll just tell you, for years, I was in this mental space, let's put it that way, where it's like everything I tried, nothing worked. It's like I would try one thing and it wasn't even like one step forward, two steps back. I was like taking one step forward, 100 steps back. It's like I would take a risk to start a business and it would set me back for like months because I'd make a huge financial mistake or something like that. And I kind of get that feeling for you here, but I feel like it's saying get out of your head. Like I got to a certain point where I was like I was just like depressed or something. I wasn't really depressed. I think I was just like angry or something like that. I don't know. But I got to this point where I was very defeatist. I would just be like, oh, this isn't going to work because, nothing ever works for me. Like I had that type of attitude. And, I would just be careful of that with the Nine of Swords because I think you're entering into a new place. Again, I had to change my attitude that's really how I fixed it. I fixed my attitude. Plain and simple. So let's see. What is going on for you here, Cancer, with this reading? Pretty interesting. With the Nine of Cups and the Tower, you have the Death card and the Six of Cups. Love it, because Death card is a change. You have the Uranus card here. Clearly, there's a change. And the Six of Cups is a turnaround. Six of Cups represents obstacles being removed from your life. It's kind of like some sort of change happening for you. So, to me, the Six of Cups is a gift from the universe. The gift we receive from the Six of Cups is forward progress. We, maybe we've been trying to do something for a long time, and we finally get to move forward. With the Page of Cups in the World, you have the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles, really good for love if you're looking for love, by the way. I love the King of Pentacles because it doesn't matter what gender you're attracted to, by the way, but it can represent a person who's coming in who really values long-term relationships or who really wants something that is more long-term. It's like someone who's serious, basically. There's a shock, right? So I feel like you could be attracting a person who's like much more serious about being in a relationship or being in a loving relationship, basically. With the Two of Wands and the Six of Pentacles, you have the Devil. What I would say here is thinking. I do feel like a lot of us, just looking at the astrology as well, I can see how there's probably a lot going on that I think is making us think Nine of Swords, Devil. Devil is something, as far as thoughts are concerned, the Devil is something that sucks you in. It's like a black void where nothing can escape. It's like a black hole, right, in the universe. So the Devil says, none of that thinking. If you find yourself going down like negative rabbit holes like I did years ago, pull yourself out. Try to find something positive. With the Tower and the King of Wands, you have the Six of Pentacles, which you have twice here. I like the Six of Pentacles. To me, it's a card of success, and it's also a card of growth. Like, it's a card of planting seeds. Not only that, You have 2 6s here. I love 2 6s. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that I love when 2 6s show up together. To me, 2 6s basically says you're on the right path, you're going in the right direction, you're doing the right things that you need to be doing. With the world and the moon, 8 of Swords stuck. Again, plain and simple, 8 of Swords is being too close to a problem, being too close to an issue, and needing to look for other ways of doing things. So the 8 of Swords to me is like, imagine if you were right up against a wall that was like only as big as your face, right? If you were right up against it, you wouldn't be able to see that you could just walk around the wall, right? So it's a card of being too close to a problem, and I feel like you need to realize that there are just other ways of doing things. There's a million ways to do everything, literally, that you can possibly imagine. You just have to do the research. And with the 6 of Pentacles and the 9 of Swords, you have the Knight of Cups, a knight in shining armor. Again, if you're looking for love, I would, say, again, not telling you what to do. As I always say, I don't think tarot should tell you what to do. You have free will. You can do whatever you want. But I do feel like this area is saying, like, open up. I feel like some of you could be jumping to conclusions if you're meeting a new person. And again, this is only if you're open to love. If you're open to it, I would give a person a chance here, especially, again, Knight of Cups, you will be attracted to this person. Knight of Cups is a knight in shining armor. But again, I feel like that 9 of Swords could just be you thinking the worst before you actually give it a chance. So I kind of feel like this is saying, if you are looking for love and a person approaches you, give it a chance. I feel like it'll be safe for you to open up to this person with the Knight of Cups, and I think you'll enjoy it. Knight of Cups outside of love is your dreams. He's normally looking into that cup and he's like imagining what his future life could be. What does he need to do? He needs to plant seeds. There's water normally right in front of him, and he's standing in the desert. So it's a card that says, even though you might be in the desert, even though you might feel like you don't have the resources necessary to move forward, he actually does. He just needs to plant the seeds in front of the water. Even though he's in the desert, the seeds will grow because the water is right there, right? Top row outcome, you have the Knight of Pentacles. And it's like a little bit of a cautious energy here. So I would open up with the Knight of Pentacles. Feels a little bit too cautious to me. Middle row, 10 of Swords. Something from the past is dead, done, over with. Definitely a change. Again, this makes sense to me with the Tower, the World, 10 of Swords. It's like some sort of major change. In bottom row, you have the 4 of Swords. Card of recovery. Having said all that, guess what? The Knight of Pentacles, he also needs to plant seeds. On a traditional Knight of Pentacles, he has the empty fields behind him. He could fill those fields with, abundance, basically, by planting seeds, but he needs to take action. Definitely could be an earth sign coming in for you here, Cancer, but this looks pretty good. I will be back with a mid-monthly update in the middle of the month, so we'll see where this is going, but thank you for being here, Cancer. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time, but thank you, and definitely enjoy your month.